Welcome to Nuggets of Gold. Today is the day after Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the holiday that celebrates him. This year it was on January 18, so right now is the morning of January 19. And, let me just say my main thought before I get into rambling, and I hope I don't cloud the issue. I hope I clarify what I feel like the Lord has laid on my mind this morning. After watching the various memes and celebrations for Dr. King yesterday, my primary thought is this, that we need to hold on to the central message of this great man, and similarly hold on to the central message of Jesus if we are going to utilize other parts of their message. If we're going to give quotes from Dr. King and we're going to throw out, well, Jesus said this and Jesus said that, then we need to hold on to the central message that they were trying to promote and trying to call us into. If we don't hold on to that central message, then there's a really, really good chance we're going to misapply and misuse the quotes that we give and the passions that we say that they were all about. So here's what I saw on social media. I saw people that are friends of mine that lean well to the political right, giving Dr. King quotes yesterday to say, see, he was clearly on our side, and our side is the strong and righteous position. And then I had friends of mine that are on the left-leaning political side, and they were putting out different Dr. King quotes, and they were saying, see, this is why we are right, and this is why we are righteous. And maybe Dr. King shouldn't be stripped of his central message in order to make you feel better about your passions. As far as I have analyzed, as far as I have read, as far as I have been taught, the central message of Martin Luther King Jr. was, we need to treat people of other races with equality in the same way that we would treat ourselves. There needs to be an equal valuing of the black man, the white man, Hispanic man, the Asian man. There needs to be an equal treatment. There needs to be equal opportunities. There needs to be a looking across the road and saying, my neighbor is valuable to be invested in and valuable to come alongside and drink a beer with and come alongside and sing songs in church with, and they deserve as much of a chance to vote and as much of a voice as I have. That's what I understand the central message of Dr. King to be. Maybe I'm getting the central message wrong. I'm not trying to quote him and put him in a box. I'm trying to understand his overarching message was, we need to see that God created mankind, not broken down into races in various classes, but equal. Equal across the color spectrum. And when we give different quotes that kind of lean a little bit onto the race issue, but they hold up our position and they show how right we are and how dumb the other guy is, we're kind of ripping him off. We're kind of stealing away from his central message. Now let's connect this to Jesus. Because there's a lot of people on the right that like to say, well, Jesus would have taught this about this issue. And there's a lot of people on the left that say, well, Jesus said this, so you better get out of my way on this issue. Unfortunately, we have the answer right from the mouth of Jesus. Somebody came and asked him one day, Jesus, what is most important? What's the core message? What's the core lesson? What is the core law that we need to know? And Jesus answers in Matthew chapter 22. And I'm not breaking new ground here, But I want to remind you that if you're going to talk about Jesus and abortion, or Jesus and homosexuality, or Jesus and he says don't judge others, or Jesus and he says we need to love the poor, here's the central message that we need to hold on to first in order to rightly apply those other principles. Matthew 22, verse 36, Teacher, what is the greatest commandment in the law? And Jesus said to him, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. This is what your life should be aiming for and revolving around. And a second is like it, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. And there's where Dr. King comes into the picture with Jesus. If you and I are missing the central message of Jesus, to love God, to love him with our body, to love him with our mind, to love him with our affections, to love him with our heart, if we are getting that out of line, then it doesn't matter what we say about don't be judgy, or love the poor, or don't kill babies, or homosexuality is a sin. If we can't filter that through love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, then we're going to get our emphasizing wrong on those things. We're not going to communicate about them well. We're not going to communicate about them with the priorities of Jesus or the heart of Jesus. So let's get back and honor Dr. King and honor Jesus Christ by letting their central message drive us, loving God and loving our neighbor as ourselves. And those say lots of things about the concerns on both sides of the aisle. We'll see you next time.